Fast forward, you come out our channel so AGH Politics Avenue. I need them near Braximu. Breaking news, Yamfa and Sumo. Onya say ye Ebrema Freddie Blay after say court a Remand no and cry yensa aka and say in an hour time na se papa no wa yare preku wo ye ne ho hwe enye a me no ka say ye din akọ eye medical facility center papa no oji treatment e wo ho a onua enye asem koto akra na mesra wo say ye monwura insimnim abra afraid or cancy inso ajemre na o probi into sa asem wosimu AGH Politics Avenue yambo enwura eye insimnim.
And before we go, the Akropong Circuit Court has ordered the remand of, that was earlier today, Freddie Blay, the former national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, following his arrest in connection with a disputed property demolition at Kitasi in the Eastern region. Mr. Blay, a veteran legal practitioner and political figure, was handed to the Akropong police earlier today after officers in Accra executed a criminal arrest warrant that had been outstanding for nearly a year. He appeared before the court shortly after his arrest and is expected, from what we got earlier, to have remained in custody until his next scheduled appearance on the 9th of April 2026. The update that we have, based on the information coming through from some persons close to him and his legal team, is that Mr. Freddie Blay has been transferred to a medical facility for urgent attention hours after the remand by the Circuit Court. So that's the latest development coming through right now. So Freddie Blay has been referred to a medical facility for urgent attention hours after remand by the Circuit Court. So that's the latest regarding Freddie Blay, who the particular complaint found
to have his immigration status made permanent, so to speak, so that he could really formalize it in a way. Just a minute or two.
I strongly believe that Mr. Kenoforiata should unveil himself to the laws of this country. I strongly believe that. And I've gone back to watch his parliamentary vetting. That parliamentary vetting provides great context to what we are seeing today. The firm assurance, backed by biblical quotations, to hold fidelity. You see, the finance minister is not just an ordinary minister. Of all ministers, the finance minister is the primus inter pares. The public purse is directly anchored in your work. If you look at President Akufo-Addo's inaugural speech, where he made that famous statement that I shall protect the public purse, it was anchored on who he was going to be or have as his finance minister. Because the public purse is what it is. And so I believe that even for the sake of the MPP, that Mr. Kenoforiata should voluntarily come into the country to face the laws of this country. Look, he's not the first finance minister. Mr. Richard Kwampepra was finance minister. Do you know who signed the charge sheet against him? Attorney General Akufo-Addo. Yes. All our finance ministers, one way or the other. And in fact, when Kenoforiata was finance minister, he subjected his immediate predecessor, Setekwe, to rigorous investigation. In fact, there was a time, and I know because I was involved, that Mr. Setekwe could not travel out of this country without going to the police for permission, because his passport was with them. That was the state of affairs. Why is suddenly, in the case of you, it should be a different conversation? Look, and I say this. Immediately you come into this country, what worse can happen? You'll be arrested. SP already has a case. You'll be put before a court. Your lawyers will apply for bail. once they apply for bail, the judge will consider it. If it's in the wisdom of the judge that you are worthy of it, you'll be granted bail. The rest of it will take its normal course. So what exactly are we talking about? Look, myself and my senior Dr. Eni were counsel for Dr. Dufo. In one of the matters, we appeared before the High Court. He placed a bail sum of 100 million Ghana cedis on Dr. Dufo. That was the bail sum. And I remember vividly, we pleaded. Then he reduced it to 65 million Ghana cedis. Eventually, we provided the necessary documentation and we went home. So what is it? In any case, Akufo-Addo left a robust judiciary, impartial judiciary. Has that judiciary changed? It's the same judges Akufo-Addo appointed who are manning the...
But it's well within his right if he's seeking some normalization of some level of...
What normalization? It's just to prevent him from facing justice. And I've always maintained, all the finance ministers we've had, Victor Salome. What did it happen to Victor Salome? What did it happen to Kwampepra, Ibrahim Adams, Josie Payanki? They were top-ranking officials of this republic. They stayed in the country to face the full rigors of the law. I represented the respected Honorable Ato Forsen. I was going to the High Court always for his passport to enable him travel. I was always the one who would go. Sometimes I would do ex-parte application. The AG people will come. Either they are opposed or they are not. Before his passport will be given to him to travel, even for medical treatments. So what's the point? I will plead. The family members, particularly, and you see, this whole thing that Mr. Kenoforiata is playing, with respect, it casts a very big dent on the presidency of Akufo-Addo. Because he was the principal custodian of our public finances. Not this man, not me, not you. This man can't sign a check. Ask him. From the time he went through public service, whether he ever signed a check to even disburse 1 Ghana cedi.
Same with the finance minister.
Please. Who?
Same.
No. Every check.
Okay.
Inside the
Finance ministers don't sign checks.
They do.
Okay.
Please.
Just a minute, if you can.
The invoice.
All right. Okay, gentlemen. Former Deputy Energy Minister and current MPA boss.
For me, the simple issue is, can a senior public official who presided over controversial financial decisions avoid accountability by relocating abroad? For me, that's the issue. And I think the simple answer to that is no. Because Ghana and the US have an extradition agreement. And per the terms of that agreement, even where a US citizen, you understand, passes the extradition test, then Ghana has a right, as in the US, per the terms of that extradition, will be brought down. So, yes, I'm sure Ken is seeking self-preservation. It may have his own implications on himself. It may have his own implication on the MPP. My personal view about the MPP is that I don't trust that Ken and Nanado himself immediately to really care about the party. They just saw a weak party and they use that party to advance their own agenda. You understand? But having said that, I think right now, as things stand now, there's an obligation on the state, on the government, on the Attorney General to fulfill our desire for accountability. Because Ken will be chasing for self-preservation. You understand? And maybe in his mind, he thinks that by getting residency in the US, it may help him. I don't know. But there are so many Ghanaians who want US residency, and you rightly said it is within his rights. The same way it is within our rights as citizens to have a certain perception about him. But having said that, the person that has the real authority to ensure that one of the fundamental and abiding tenets of this our constitution, which is a desire to see probity and accountability fulfilled, is the Attorney General. In this case, the Office of the Special.
No, but they are working together.
Exactly.
Today they have engaged the American authorities.
And that's why, for me, the OSP and the AG must do everything in their power to ensure that we see accountability, but we see accountability within the context of our constitution, our desire to see, the rule of law, because for all intents and purposes, Ken is still what's called innocent.
Presumed.
Is presumed innocent until proven so. So for me, the fact that he has taken steps to get a green card does not take anything away from our ability to see accountability enforced. So OSP and Attorney General, over to you. Do everything in your power to ensure that we see accountability in all the allegations and charges that has been made and leveled against Ken Ofori-Atta. And the fact that he's taking a green card does not take anything away from our ability to pursue him.
Lawyer Mensah.
I don't know your penchant for always attacking the MPP. I cannot understand.
Would you let me explain?
Please, when you were speaking, I was sitting
But you asked me a question, I'm asking you. Whether you are letting me explain.
You see, when your party leader, Honorable...
Is that in response to the question?
I'm coming, please, with respect. Was a cabinet minister in the Akufo-Addo administration. You never sat anywhere and said that Akufo-Addo had seen MPP as a weak party.
I said it so many times.
When Alan Chamantin was the minister for trade, you were saying it.
I was saying it so many times.
Let's not
go on
this.
Facebook. No, go on my Facebook. Please. I was saying so many times.
I don't follow your Facebook.
Exactly. So you didn't know. So don't say this you don't know. MPP is weak.
Okay.
Let's
go for a truce.
So MPP is weak. That's why Japan went to say that there's one other says that people should be held accountable
on your party. Because that's not what I said.
Please. I'll talk about MPP.
That's not what I said. In fact, your own words that you just used validates the point that I made. You can exert accountability without the person necessarily being here.
No, Senior.
Please. Speak. No.
But you're not permitted to mistake the law.
Please.
That's the misstatement of the law,
Eduji.
Okay.
Please.
It's okay, Senior.
You, right now, you just said that residence does not prevent accountability. The fact that he's seeking U.S. residence does not prevent him.
Exactly, because of extradition.
Yes, so I agree. So that's exactly the point that I was making. That indeed and in fact, our constitution, like we all know, that persons have a right to against self-incrimination. And so the fact that you are even available, you can elect not to speak.
But if it comes, what will happen?
I don't have a problem. Look, I'm not Ken Ofori-Atta. I do not hold brief for him. The reasons that he is relying on to stay out of the country, he hasn't discussed with me. He hasn't sent me. I don't speak for him. But I'm saying that, yes, by all means, you can hold him accountable, even if he's absent. And why not? Go ahead with the processes. He has a right to remain silent throughout the process. In fact, he has a right to even not to defend himself. So go ahead. You have the evidence. Go to court like the special prosecutor has done and try him in absentia. If all the facilities that you have given him to come and respond, he says he won't come. What's your problem? Does it stop you from obtaining judgment against him?
What will be the essence of the judgment?
Then after that you enforce it through the extradition procedure.
All right.
That he just said.
No, but if the man who is running away from even the trial, is it the conviction that he is willing to come and say?
You've given him you've afforded him the opportunity to come.
To defend himself, yeah.
The man says he won't come.
The University
I'm
of
saying that go ahead.
The University
and
of
charge
Gold Coast is our main
Leave
sponsor
your
for
evidence
big
in
issues.
court because
Thank
the
you,
evidence is on
gentlemen.
you.
The University, my time is
To
up.
prove his guilt.
The University
True or
of
false?
Gold Coast
You
is our
be a lawyer.
main sponsor for big issues.
That burden is on
And
you.
when it comes
Go
to the
ahead and
University
prove
of
it.
There's a
Gold
reason
Coast,
why-
when it comes to the University of Gold
There's
Coast,
a reason why the Constitution says.
when you, whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operation supply chain, human resource,
Iran giving up so soon.
they told you that, or you are monitoring.
I'm monitoring. But what I'm saying is that I'm not seeing them giving up so soon. I mean, when you look at what they are doing and the reactions.
And the resistance.
Yes. You obviously will see that probably they will fight till the last bomb that they have. All right. Now America is calling on allies, to join and to help protect, how do you call it, the Strait of Hormuz. All right, so that probably the 8 million barrel of crude oil per day that passed through in there, that has now become a gap in supply, could go. All right, and Iran still maintains in that any other ships seen within that region, they will attack it. All right, so it has become a dicey situation. Whoever says that it is not having impact on Ghana may be lying. It could, especially if the war prolongs. Obviously, within the world, the global trend, I mean, experts have indicated that, yes, it is hitting, even as at now, it is hitting GDP, global GDP. And that global GDP is reducing by 0.3%. All right. IMF have also predicted that if the war should prolong, okay, and oil prices should rise above 10% and be sustained within that, region. What it means is that economic growth, the world economic growth, is equally going to be reduced by 0.15%, getting to 2%, and inflation wouldn't have it easy like that. World inflation, even as at now, we've heard that countries like UK, and some European countries are suffering in terms of inflation. So when these giants, economic giants, are suffering, why not Ghana? Okay. I mean, can we be exempted? Unless probably we sit down and then put certain strategic, interventions in place. And I've seen that some interventions are already in place. But then, how sustainable would some of these interventions be in the long term? And so I believe that we need to set our minds at work. Whatever it is, we know that definitely, from the look of things, even after this Gulf struggles, right, future issues may come in. And when it comes, are we still going to be on the media discussing and all that? I think that we should be safe. Some of these threats, we need to do our best to protect it going forward.
Okay. I would want Edwige to speak, but I have Dr. Riverson Opong, CEO for the Chamber for Oil Marketing Companies, Ghana. Good morning to you, Dr. Opong. Dr. Opong, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So what it means is that your members will be implementing new prices at their various filling stations? Or they've started?
That's yeah, I mean, it should start from today with notification note to MPA with the influence of the foreign benchmark prices solely a contributor to the increase that we see today. I think to an extent, Ghana has got it a bit so good upon all the resistance and all the conversations we've had past 2 weeks, because a country like Nigeria has already seen day-to-day increase in pump price, but we have to wait for 2 weeks to see the impact. It might be huge, but like my brother who was speaking just said, it's just sad that we wait for times like this, then we gather and talk about local refineries and all that. From 2018, we've been discussing models on that, and they rather have people. See, if you pick the 10%, and he mentioned 3 wells, 4 wells. So we have three fields in this country: the Jubilee field, the 10 field, and the ENI Sankofa field. The Sankofa.
We ain't some who do it. That's an so bad in the Adumbi Edumania. You be